This is Joshua of JTH Boxing. Today I'm in London. I'm at the Anthony Joshua vs Francis Ngannou launch press conference, and I'm joined by I'm on a hat-trick now of Nottingham link-ups here. Ekow Essuman. Ekow, first of all, Happy New Year, brother. How are we?
Oh, Happy New Year, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. Back in the gym, training, as I always do. Ticking over, getting ready for what's next, man.
Obviously, we may as well go straight into things. Obviously, last time out, it wasn't the best night at the office. Obviously, the first time your hand wasn't raised at the end of the night. I'm sure it wasn't a great experience. I'm sure it wasn't the ideal outcome, but life goes on. When you look back and reflect on that night, what do you really take away from that?
Well, there were things that I bring into contention. Like I felt like the ref could have mitigated things a bit better. There was a lot that got let to slide, but it is what it is. It's boxing, isn't it? You move on. From what I can take away from the match, you lot are going to see a lot more bloodthirst from me in my matches, hitting everyone in every round, and you're just going to see the shark in me, really. I'm not held to the British line of fighting now. I'm not held to the IBF line. I've got a clear route, so I can go on the hunt. I don't have to defend him, but I can go on the hunt, and me on the hunt is a very dangerous fighter.
Do you reckon that was the thing? Do you reckon it was obviously you'd already won the British outright? You'd already done a lot of it. You know, you'd held that IBF for a long time by this point. Do you reckon now that while you could have vacated those titles and never had to have lost a fight to get rid of them? Do you feel like now that they are gone, it obviously, like you say, it does free up a lot of options? Do you reckon this could be a really pivotal point in your career to where you can really start to push on for what a lot of people have been calling out for you to do for a while, and that is push on for world honours?
Really, I'd love to push on for world honours. Really, Frank needs to sort me out in my next fight. It could be a top 10 IBF fight. I am number 10. It could be the EBU route for the EBU European. That will bring my ranking up in under a lot of belt governing bodies. So I mean, the world's my oyster, and yeah, it frees up a lot, and I'm hungry for it. It's just want to get back to it, really.
Obviously, if we could put a pencil on a date, or not a pencil on a date, but just to give a rough guideline as to when we could see you next. Obviously, you mentioned off camera possibly March or April. A card that has been rumoured is a possible Queensberry show in Birmingham. Could we possibly see you appear on that in a fight a little bit closer to home?
Well, don't cross it out. I've let my agent and Frank know I want to be active this year. Last year I fought in January, then I had a long wait till November. This year I just want to get it on. I want to get in the scraps.
Do you feel now that obviously you don't hold, when you have those titles to your name, it holds you back with who you can pick and fight? You know, you might want to fight this person, but because they don't hold this certain ranking. I think a great example of this was what we've seen with Jaya Pataya just before Christmas. Yeah. He wanted to fight Elisoro, and they made the fight, and then out of nowhere, oh, he's not eligible in our rankings. You either pull out that fight or you're stripped. Yeah. Now that you don't have that British title and any of the other titles that you've got, it gives you a lot more freedom to pick who you want to fight, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, there's a lot of lines I can go down, and yeah, I'll go down them. The offers will come, so I mean, when the offers come in, just take them, yeah.
Obviously, I know something that's also been talked about, and I remember last time we spoke, Lee Wood at the City Ground is getting closer. We've been told now, Eddie Hearn has said that it is just in the club's hands. Yeah. If we see that materialise, are you going to be going to Frank and saying, Frank, listen, you've let me go across the pond once, let me do it again. You'll get to fight in front of a home crowd. You'll get to fight on probably one of Nottingham's most historic nights in the history of the city. It's almost an unmissable opportunity, isn't it?
If it makes money, it makes sense, and that's a fight opportunity that will make a lot of sense. So, like, 100%, yeah, I'd say to him, look, like, put me there, put me out there, I'll bring back the medal.
I want to talk about why we're here today. Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou. Riyadh season continues. Another absolute monster event. I always like these ones when we see Ngannou involved, because while we can know a bit more about him now, he's still a bit of an unknown quantity. We don't know what he can provide on the night. What do you expect to see from this fight come March 8th?
Well, you got to give thanks to the Sheik. Like, he's turned this Riyadh season into kind of like, remember that celebrity deathmatch that used to happen where anyone could fight anyone? He's turned it to, look, I want to see this guy fight this guy. This guy never made come fight Tyson Fury. Now he's fighting Anthony Joshua. Like, he's made a name for himself. He's crossed the platform, and we've got a big night ahead of us now. In terms of how the dynamics of the match will actually go, I always have to go for the boxer. AJ boxing to the form that he's been boxing on, it'll be clinical. But saying that, you can't take nothing away from Ngannou, because, as he says, once he sets up the launch system, if it lands, you know it lands.
I think when you look at just Saudi Arabia in general and what we've seen, I was on the train earlier, I was like, do you know how mental this all is really? Like, these are matchups we've been calling for years, a lot of these fights. And, you know, when we look at the card before Christmas, we saw a lot of dream matchups happen in one night. We saw, you know, AJ and Wilder on the same card not fighting each other. That is mental. And this one, again, and it's all coming in such a small space of time. It's like, while we don't want to get used to this, we might well just actually have to get used to this, because this could be the new reality for boxing, couldn't it?
It's a great new reality of boxing to get used to. So, you know what? Milk it whilst it's here.
And finally, just a message to all the fans out there who've been continuing to support you, what we can see this year, and hopefully a much more active Ekow Essuman this year.
Yeah, looking to be a lot more active this year. Thank you to everyone for all the messages of support and that after the last match and over Christmas and that. And we're back, and we're going to be touring, and you're going to see a lot more bloodthirst from me as well.
Ekow, thank you for your time as always, brother. I'm sure we'll catch up again very, very soon.
All right,
Thank you very much. Thank you.